I've got another package here from Durkin Tactical. I think it's another kit. I think there's chips in here. Tell you the truth, these are better than these. I can't find these. All right, there you can see what I bought. $4.32 tax. Shipping total. I should maybe try to get them to stop charging me tax. I can send some people, I can send them a copy of my tax exemption form. So what do we have here? A bolt carrier does not appear to be chrome plated. A generic flash hider with a crush washer, ambidextrous charging handle, a stripped upper receiver, looks like a lower parts kit, a standard AR pistol grip, and a bunch of, the standard culprits. The upper parts, dust cover and forward assist. Standard low profile gas block. Allen wrench. There's a pin in there. Actually, there's a couple of pins in there. Gas tube with a pin. Little foam covered buffer tube. Nicely done buffer tube. Alright, I like these clamp-on, I probably told you before, clamp-on uppers. And it's actually marked Durkin, although not Durkin Tactical. See that? There we go. It's called Durkin Precision. And I think the last thing, has anybody been keeping track? Nicely packaged barrel. I don't see where this is a wild. It's marked 5.56 NATO 1 in 7. It's a fairly heavy contour barrel for being a, what is it, a 7.5 inch? I replied to a comment, and I looked that comment up. On the $250 Durkin M4 kit, I had an inquiry about delivery time from Durkin. I believe it's only been a week, but I'll look that comment up and reply to it because the day I was asked that question, And with my memory such as it is, I couldn't answer it. I just went ahead and ordered another kit from Durkin, this kit, and we'll see how much time it took for it to get delivered. So now I have another kit to put together. I have a Tac receiver. It's a magnesium receiver. I think I'll do a build on it. I'm going to start off by installing a front takedown pin. That's a little bit different than I usually do. I usually work on the trigger group area, but I have a reason for doing that. I have this real avid nifty little toolkit here. It does only one thing, and that's install the front takedown pin. The tool installs like this. Once it's installed, this thing rotates. It rotates the little handle, the push pin, with it. I like to put a lot of grease on things when I do an install. So I'm going to take some grease and I'm going to roll it in so it's inside the spring. And I'll put the spring in the hole. I'll put the detent in the hole. I'll put the little tool in to force this down, and I'll rotate this up vertically. And I'll take out the tool, and the spring and detent are captive now. Just push that in, take this out. See how? The reason I wanted to install this front takedown pin, or pivot pin, was in order to use this real avid bench block. And the reason for the pin is because I can mount the lower receiver vertically, push the pin in, and it's held there. Not real secure, but it's held there. I got off track here for a minute. I was looking for a trigger guard pin tool, which allows me to hopefully push the trigger guard pin in. Now, I don't need to use that here, so I won't need this tool for this build. And my wholesaler lists these for about $10 less, but they've been out of stock for months. So I got on Amazon, and sure enough they had them for $27. And you know how Amazon gives you little pictures of various items that are similar to what you've searched for. So I found this assortment for $30. Well, it's the same price practically. It's 30 cents more. And this pusher, which if it comes from Wheeler, they want $30 for it. The pusher and all the tools are included for the same price. And that's this. I'm sure this is right from China. So not only does it include the pusher, which I won't need to use in this build, it includes these two tools. And if I were to buy these from Wheeler, which I already did, I would have paid $15 for them. So what are these? Well, one has a hole in the end, The other has a dimple on the end. And they're rubber coated. And they're flattened on one side. And they're solely for installing the pin that goes in this hole. Bolt release, and there is a magnet, there's assorted magnets throughout this bench block. But anyway, we have the bolt release, the spring follower, and the roll pin. Now, if you have a lower parts kit that's completely mixed up, there'll be two springs that look like this. One of them is flared on the end. Do not use that spring for this job. The spring with the flare on it is the disconnector spring. It's part of the trigger group. Some grease. The rocker. I forgot to turn the camera on. But anyway, once you have the pin partially installed, put the finishing pin on, push this in a little bit. I usually do it like this, and then drive the pin home. This is a spring I said was flared slightly at one end. It's actually part of the trigger group. Spring installs in there. Okay, but with the flared end down, there it is installed. And because of the flare on the end of the spring stays in place. It won't come out. And that spring fits up into this notch in the disconnector. This is a stripped upper receiver. It needs a forward assist and a dust cover door. Now the forward assist goes in here. It needs to be pushed in while a pin is driven down through here. Now this supposedly holds this in place. So there it is with the rear takedown lug stuck in a hole so that the upper can't move. And this little projection here is holding that. Now the roll pin that came in the kit turned out to be the wrong size. I'm just going to make sure that this is not rotated. So when I put that pin in, it won't be a problem. Got the starter punch from the assortment I just showed you at the beginning of the video. And we'll do this. I'm filming this on a table that sags. Now we don't want to drive the punch down till we hit the surface of the receiver or we'll mar it. So we'll stop before we get that far. I prefer a flat punch, although I could drive the finishing punch in. One thing about the finishing punch, it supposedly remains centered. And there we go. Once the barrel nut's tight, the gas takeoff is fastened the barrel and the tube is on. Slide the handguard on. Line it up with the rail. It's going to be a little bit noisy because we've got a machine operating in the same building as us. So it's just a matter of tightening up the Allen screws. The last thing we do, fit the crush washer to the end of the barrel. Fit the flash hider. We'll rotate the flash hider against the crush washer until this solid portion is at the bottom of the barrel. The correct orientation is with this slot at the very top, or 12 o'clock position. And that completes the upper.